about 20 years ago. I have the privilege of training and consulting with technology companies all around the world. I've been in 6 continents with the work I do, and just really have enjoyed large technology companies like the big IBMs and Red Hats and Microsoft, but also a lot of their small business partners as well. And small business, because my commercial banking was in small business, I've always had a heart for the small business owner as well. And
it's the 5th startup that I've been involved in. Most of my background is in sales and marketing, and most of my experience is with selling to large companies. So
I founded Hebron Academy, the NGO that helps underprivileged children and youth, mostly orphans, with education in software engineering, computer science, and then we started Hebron Soft. So now I'm CEO of Hebron Soft, a software company. It's a solution and service provider.
Predominantly in the aerospace business with the space shuttle and the space station programs out at the Kennedy Space Center, as well as the design centers in California when I first started my career.
how have you changed operating your business, Liliya, or Pete, or James, as far as what are you doing different now to communicate to the team, to your employees, to your cohorts? They're all sitting at home or wherever they want to be, working remotely if they are working. How are you doing that? What are you doing differently?
So at Hebron Soft, we've always been working remotely for our clients, right? So since we do all kinds of outsourcing service solution providing services and solutions, we work remotely for our clients. But so nothing has changed much in that perspective. As I mentioned, in the perspective of having this remote work with our employees, our teams, has changed much, but I think it made us even closer, because now, as we talked before, it's more on more human kind of feeling, and when we get on the calls with teams, this physical distance is not noticed, but the social anti-distance now is anti-distance, that's a weird term, but we are kind of getting more closer socially.
James, how have you changed how you communicate or what you communicate?
Maybe 3 things. So 1, we do 2 stand-ups a day instead of 1. We used to do a 9 o'clock stand-up. Now we do a 9 o'clock and a 1 o'clock stand-up, just so that people get a little bit more interaction and maybe a little bit of accountability involved too, So we do a 9 and a 1 o'clock stand-up instead of just 1. I'll say the second thing is, and this is maybe not so much inside the team, but when looking out to our customers, we've been looking at, we're a data science company, so we look at all of our stats, and calling people is actually marginally up, so a little bit more people are answering the phone. Email response is down in terms of our own prospecting, and so we've tried to continue to push to dial the phone because it's working, and we're marginally up in terms of response rate from March 15th until to now. So that's kind of a second thing. And then there are probably some things that you got for free when we were working physically together, like knowing whether someone's depressed or miserable or whatever, that you don't get for free anymore. And so we're having to purpose to kind of check in on people, see how they're doing, just because you don't get it for free anymore, and so you have to implement something that you just got for free in the past. So
Yeah,
there's a couple of examples.
Wow. Okay. Other thoughts on just caring for your team members?
Mhm.
Yep, we're good. All right. All right. So we've been in this forum now for about a half an hour. So everybody who's on and viewing everything, look somewhere else for 1 minute. I'm going to time us, and we're just going to take a little break right now, a visual break, and we'll just be silent for just a moment. Stand up if you want, or otherwise, you know, kind of exercise, starting right now.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't this weird? Look outside, if you can.
Can you see bald eagles?
Yeah. Oh, I could yawn, I could stretch, I could stand up, I could move. Yeah. Okay, I have pants on. You can see that. All right, good. Don't have my pajamas on yet.
Your
It's
work
great.
home pajamas? What type?
There's a joke going around that you wear your daytime pajamas till 9 o'clock at night, and then you put your
Nice.
nighttime PJs back on that again. All
So,
right, so that's about a minute,
That's
just
good.
to take a little break. Yeah.
We're gonna have a little bit of a challenge here in Florida in approximately 30 days or 40 days. That's not. It's interesting because the COVID-19 pandemic has kept everybody at home, or a lot of people at home. But it's been about 10 years since we launched humans from the Space Coast here in Florida. And right now there's a plan with SpaceX to launch astronauts to the International Space Station at the end of May. And of course, there's always technical challenges that might prevent that from happening. But right now it's targeted for the end of May. And the challenge we're going to have in Florida is there's going to be 1 million people that want to witness it. There's going to be 1 million people that come to the Space Coast and see that. And the governor's already trying to figure out what to do with the county on how we're going to manage that mass of people wanting to get out. And here's a great reason to get out, to go to the causeways, to go to the beach and watch the first humans go up to the International Space Station from the Space Coast in the last 10 years. Because the last time we launched humans to space from here was the space shuttle. And that was, so it's going to be interesting to see how that works out.
That'll be a challenge, because it's not an organized event as far as having parking all lined up and all that other stuff. They're going to be sitting along the highways and the freeways and
Yeah, exactly.
getting in a sight line there to watch it happen.
My wife and I will be able to go out in our backyard and watch it from our backyard.
Wow. I remember being in Orlando, Florida, and hearing from somebody that there was a restaurant there that had a view towards the coast, and that they were able to watch a launch from Orlando, which is a long way away, but it's amazing. Yeah, it's a pretty dramatic sight, that's for sure. Well, all right. So have you, James or Liliya, have you communicated to your employees more company information than you used to have? Are you telling folks more about how we're doing, and has that changed as far as your team members?
Well, we've always believed in transparency, so we share not like detailed, like to the dollar information, but we share our financials with the entire team, so everybody knows where we stand. You know, and we feel like there are pros and cons, but the pros dramatically outweigh the cons in the sense of people feeling ownership over the company. And I've always said that at the end of working for Coherent Path, you know, this is a lot of their first startup. I want to feel like they're getting an MBA in startups as well as, you know, participating in the startup. And so I want them to, I sort of talk about demystifying what it is to work at a startup. It's not really that complicated. And the more transparent that I can be about how it works and what our finances look like, and We talk about that old board game Risk. Where do you put your risk armies? How many
Right.
in Quebec and how many in Australia? And so having them have some visibility into where we're putting our risk armies, we feel like is a great way to kind of increase ownership. So we're still doing that, and it matters more now.
Yeah.
People are paying more attention.
I'll bet. Of course, they're concerned about their job a little bit more maybe than they were before. And
Totally.
so that's one of the ways to help them feel comfortable that they know what's going on.
Yep. And when we do have to lay off people, which you do on occasion, then it makes sense. It's not arbitrary. It's rational, and that can be human, even that.
Sure. Liliya, do you have a thought on that as well?
Yeah, so we've I personally try to communicate with each employee separately, individually, quite often, providing specific information on the project they are working on or what potential work they will be having, so they do not feel they won't have enough work and will be laid off. So it's more on a personal level, I should say, but also our HR and event managers are communicating quite well about some trauma events if needed, or some concerns with our employees.
Yeah, well, there's obviously some investment type information you can't share about your business performance, but trends up and down, how we're doing, what's working, those kinds of things certainly can be helpful. Well, listen, I'd like to take another poll right now if we could. Are your sales this quarter going up, down, or flat? And so, Liliya, if you would initiate a poll with our listeners and see what they are saying right now.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. And panelists, you are welcome to vote as well.
Another 10 seconds to vote, and then we'll close it out. Okay, let's look at the results there, Liliya. Some are up, a few more are down, and some are still hanging in there, and a couple of them don't know. And so maybe you ought to be finding out. I'll have to admit, I clicked I don't know either. So that's fine. All right, so we got some folks that are down, but hopefully they're not out, and they're still on with us and hanging in there and hoping to pick up an idea or two. That's really the purpose of this webinar, is if you could pick up one good idea to implement, then we'll feel like we have fulfilled our mission here today.